Oh, sure. Some used them, some didn't use them.
At 78 years old, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the man who once seemed truly unstoppable, is now facing one of the most heartbreaking chapters of his life. For decades, he inspired millions with his strength, discipline, and unbreakable determination. From a poor boy in a small Austrian village to a world champion bodybuilder, a Hollywood legend, and the governor of California, Arnold proved again and again that anything was possible with enough hard work. But today, the same man who once defied every odd is fighting a battle he cannot simply train his way out of. Doctors recently revealed that due to his worsening heart condition, Arnold will likely never live to see his 85th birthday, a revelation that has shaken fans around the world. For someone who embodied fearlessness, this diagnosis feels like the toughest test of his life, a reminder that even the strongest heroes are still human. Arnold Schwarzenegger was born on July 30, 1947, in Thal, Austria, where his father, Gustav, ruled their home with military strictness. He and his brother Meinhard grew up under rigid routines, waking at dawn, performing exercises before breakfast, completing chores, homework, and mandatory soccer practice. Yet inside the strictness, something fierce was building. At 10, Arnold found his escape in sports, and by 15, a single visit to a weightlifting gym changed his life. The clang of metal and the sight of sculpted physiques felt like destiny calling. He began training obsessively, so obsessively that he once broke into the gym on a Sunday just to finish a workout. Even when his father mocked bodybuilding and took him to a psychiatrist, Arnold remained committed. Watching American films of muscular heroes like Steve Reeves only fueled his dream to become the greatest. In 1965, Arnold joined the Austrian army, but when the chance to compete in Junior Mr. Europe appeared, he secretly fled the barracks, risking everything. Exhausted, broke, and borrowing posing trunks, he stepped on stage and won. Though he was punished with 7 days in a military cell, his victory turned him into a symbol of ambition. After his service, he moved to Munich, trained twice a day, and dominated European bodybuilding competitions. In 1967, at just 20 years old, he became the youngest Mr. Universe in history. A year later, a phone call from Joe Weider changed everything. Arnold arrived in America with $20 and a gym bag, barely speaking English, and began training at Gold's Gym in Venice Beach. Within 2 years, he conquered every major title: Mr. Universe, Mr. World, and 6 straight Mr. Olympia crowns. But even then, he was already dreaming of a second act. Hollywood wasn't ready for him at first. His accent was too thick, his body too big, his name too long. But he was relentless. After early roles in Hercules in New York and Stay Hungry, which earned him a Golden Globe, his breakout came with Pumping Iron in 1977. Then Conan the Barbarian in 1982 and The Terminator in 1984 made him a global superstar. Throughout the 80s and early 90s, he dominated the box office with films like Predator, Commando, Total Recall, and Terminator 2, proving he could deliver action, humor, and heart. Even as injuries slowed him near the late 90s, he still made a massive comeback with Terminator 3, and after his political career, returned to acting with The Expendables, Terminator sequels, and the Netflix series Fubar. But for all his on-screen invincibility, Arnold's real battles happened off-screen. Throughout his life, he survived a near-fatal motorcycle crash, a skiing accident, an emergency jet landing, and even a shocking dropkick attack in South Africa. Yet none of these scares compared to the fight within his own chest. Born with a bicuspid aortic valve, Arnold underwent a major heart surgery in 1997, knowing it might only last a decade. He chose not to get a mechanical valve because it would restrict his active lifestyle. Over the years, he endured multiple heart surgeries, in 2018 and again in 2020, each recovery harder than the last. For the first time, he found himself weak, confined to a walker, struggling simply to breathe. Today, at 78, Doctors warn that his heart may not hold out much longer. For a man who built a life on defying limits, it is a sobering, deeply human reality. His personal life also carried its own wounds. Arnold married Maria Shriver in 1986, blending Hollywood glamour with American political legacy. They raised 4 children and seemed like the perfect family, until their marriage collapsed in 2011. Soon after, the world learned Arnold had fathered a child with a longtime household employee years earlier. The revelation shattered the family and the public image he had built, leaving him with regrets he openly admits are among his greatest failures. Yet even in heartbreak, Arnold's ambition never slowed. From his bricklaying business with Franco Columbu to real estate investments, Planet Hollywood, the Arnold Sports Festival, and major financial ventures, he built an empire long before Forbes officially named him a billionaire in 2024. And in politics, he shocked the world when he announced his run for governor of California on live television. Winning the 2003 recall election with nearly 49% of the vote, he became a centrist leader who championed environmental reform, fought partisan gridlock, and won re-election in 2006. Today, Arnold Schwarzenegger's journey stands as one of the most extraordinary transformations in modern history. From a boy in a small Austrian village to a global icon whose life embodied grit, reinvention, discipline, and impossible dreams. And even now, as he faces the greatest battle of his life, his message remains the same. True strength is not measured by muscle, but by the will to keep going, even when your own heart begins to fail.